Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. My name is Pamela Pacheco. It is Thursday, May 30th, 2024. I have the absolute honor, pleasure, and privilege of being your host. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are joining us once again, welcome home. I remember when the first time when I started entrepreneurship over a decade ago, I was looking forward to these morning mentorship calls. Not only was I looking forward to these morning calls because of the information I was going to receive, but because of the inspiration I was going to receive. Garbage in is garbage out. Greatness in is greatness out. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that decided to start your morning off with some positivity, with some inspiration, and with some fire this morning. And I am live from the Dominican Republic, so pardon the technical difficulties in advance. If you are tuning in for the first time, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. So really quick, guys, what we're going to talk today about are a few things. One of them is really one of the things that it's how to maximize your free time. And the reality is that time indeed is one of the most precious commodities and one of the easiest to lose. For better or worse, how we spend our free time exposes what it is that we value the most. And when we think of great leaders, right? The great leaders have mastered the ability to leverage time. Anybody else love the word leverage? I absolutely love the word leverage. And the reality is that leverage comes from the device known as a lever, because it allows us to put in minimum effort into moving an object that weighs more than the effort we put in. Leveraging time wisely feels small in the moment, but the truth of the matter is that it has significant impact day after day. And on average, if you really think about, we have about 56 hours of free times each week. 56 hours of free time each week. But what are we doing with that free time? And just because it is free, it does not mean that it is cheap. Okay. And every moment is really an opportunity to create something new and make something better. And if we want to see God multiply the things that we have in our lives, it definitely does require us to maximize the things in our life. So when we talk about maximizing our free time, three things, if you're taking notes, right, to maximize our free time, one of them is rest. The other one is improvement, and the other one is passion. And let's talk about rest. The truth of the matter is that true rest brings restoration to the soul. I am in the Dominican Republic. I came here for Dominican Mother's Day. And when you talk about restoration to the soul, listen, your girl got no makeup on. I just got lipstick on this morning. My face, everybody's like, you've been good. I was like, I know my skincare is A1, but it's really and truly when you're just grateful and you are just restored, right? You feel refreshed. And the truth of the matter is that one of the things that we do not speak of enough is prioritizing downtime. And when I was thinking of this, I was like, it's not only prioritizing downtime so that you can go on vacation and you can go live your best life, whether you're going on an escape or a getaway or a family trip. But the reality is that there's a few ways that you can prioritize your rest, because it's important. So one of those things is structured scheduling. So what does that mean? You're allocating specific times to rest and downtime in your calendar, just like you would for meetings and work tasks, just like you would for the gym. I allocate time in my schedule for everything, right? Our breakfast club calls in the morning, I usually wake up even earlier because I know that I have to schedule. I have a structured schedule where I have to do my Bible reading, where I have to do my journaling, my meditations, my affirmations. I have to make sure that I am filling my cup. So just like you would structure anything else, it's important for us to use tools like time blocking to ensure that these periods are respected when it comes to our schedule. I always say, if you know, my calendar is like my second Bible, because if it's in there, it is law. And if it's not in there, 99% of the times, it's not going to happen. I structure everything, even calls with my siblings, dates with my siblings, family time. I structure each and every single thing. Number two, how you're prioritizing your rest is delegating and outsourcing. So it's not, I have zero shame to say I was the worst person at delegating and outsourcing. And this is something that I am so grateful that I have consistently worked on, because the truth of the matter is that one of the easiest ways for us to delegate and outsource is just identify the task that can be delegated to others. Identify little things that you can say, okay, well, I don't have to be the person doing this. I can use a resource, I can use a tool, or I can use someone else to be able to do that. And the reality is that the more you trust your team, you are able to outsource things that are non-core activities that are going to allow you to free up your time. Another way that we can do this is by having a digital detox, scheduling great intervals for your digital detox to just disconnect from work, emails, notifications, allowing our mind to just recharge. We're starting our 21 Day to Transformation Challenge June 1st. And one of those things is no social media the first and last hour of the day. And the reality is, this is why I'm been very, very intentional of how I start my day, because it is so important to make sure that you are just controlling the narrative of what it is that you are consuming, controlling the narrative of what it is that has your attention. So it's important for you to just disconnect from whether it's work, whether it's business, whether it's life, but for you to just disconnect. And a lot of the times what's going on social media, you're not necessarily going on there to get value per se. Sometimes you're looking at things that may not necessarily be what it is that you want. Another way that you can maximize your free time by resting is having healthy boundaries, setting boundaries for your work hours, ensuring that you have a clear cutoff time to stop working each and every single day. So even while I'm on vacation, we have a business that's worldwide. So I've had meetings, but I have just been I'm limiting the time that I am allocating to work, because the reality is I have prioritized my rest. And it is absolutely important for us to fill our cup so that we can be at our highest and best use. So another way that when we think of, in maximizing our free time, is the improvement. If you think about improvement, sometimes you're like, well, what necessarily is that personal? Is that professional growth? It's both, right? Improvement is focusing on personal and professional growth. One of those ways that we do that is just by knowing that leaders are committed to growth, right? Leaders are committed to growth. It's not because of your position. It's not because of your rank. It's because of your initiative. It's because of your character. It's because of the things that you're constantly just working on, right? And the reality is that focusing on personal and professional growth, it's about continuous learning. It's constant and never ending improvement. It's dedicating time to learning new skills or improving existing ones. So if you are not registered for our regional training event taking place June the 8th, it is literally a week, right? It's about a week away. Make sure you're registered. And if you are registered, bring somebody with you. And maybe you're the person that's like, well, you know what? I don't really have anybody in the city that I just moved to, and I'm new here. Cool. That's awesome. Well, we have regional training events taking place in a city near you. We have them in all of the major cities. So just go on secretdirectevents.com and you'll be able to see all of the events that we have around. And here is a Facebook hack. You can go on Facebook and put my friends that live in Washington, D.C., and it'll give you all of your friends that live there. You can put on there my friends that live in Tampa, Florida, and it'll give you all of the people that live there. So there's various ways that you can contribute to the continuous learning of the people that you care about. But this can also be done through reading, through online courses. One of the things that I have been spending more time on here is just reading. I do a lot of audibles and podcasts, but it just feels so good just to get a really great book and just read, prioritizing that continuous learning, but also just utilizing your mind, right? Making sure that those muscles that you continuously are using, because whatever you do not use, you will lose. So another way to make sure that you're focusing on improvement is process optimization. So one of those things that I regularly do is review and improve business processes. As a business coach, as a consultant, it is so important for me to always inspect what it is that I expect, but I also make sure that I am having operations streamlined as much as possible, because the reality is this is what saves not only time and money, but it also improves efficiency. So I'm not trying to be the busiest person. I'm always just doing my best to be the most productive and the most efficient, right? So that is definitely one of those ways that you do that. Another way that you do this as well is just making sure that you are consistently personally developing yourself. Again, investing in activities that improve your mental, your physical health. Now, I have a physical trainer. I pay a trainer because the reality is I have coaches in every aspect of my life. I have a spiritual coach, I have pastors, I have a therapist, right? We all should have a place that is a no judgment free zone that you can talk to and just get feedback that it may be unsolicited. However, it is solicited because you pay for therapy, but people that they don't know you, so they can feel free to just tell you what it is, and more than anything, help you grow, help you be better, help you personally develop yourself. And what these things do is they also serve as anchors. The reality is that one of the reasons that I pay my personal trainer is because it gets me up in the morning. And when I'm able to win my morning, I can win my day, because how you do anything is truly how you do everything, right? And the reality is that when I know if I don't get up and go see him, it is definitely going to come out of my account regardless. And it's gotten to a point, because I've had a personal trainer for over 3 years now, that me not working out, me not moving my body is like I'm not brushing my teeth. Like yesterday, it was raining here. I was like, I got to get in the gym. I went to a local gym. I was about to pay a monthly because they didn't have any weekly passes. And somebody that works there is like, oh, don't worry, this guy will give you a day pass. I was like, awesome, right? Favor follows me. When you're good, you always get good. Thank God. But to the point now that if like I do not move my body every day, it's like I'm not practicing good hygiene. And that is when something no longer is a discipline, it becomes a part of your lifestyle. So it is absolutely important that we are investing in these things that are helping us grow in each and every single aspect of our life. Now, another way, and if we're talking about, leaders are committed to growth and improvement, the reality is that a lot of times we want to change the people around us. Like, has anybody ever been in a situation where you're just like, man, if this person can just do this better, if this person can just do that better, right? But the reality is that we have to be the example. And sometimes people need to not only see your example, but people need to know that you're actually living proof of what it is that you are talking about, right? That you are a living testimony. And it's like, yes, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't force them to drink. But when you are intentional about improving, people will see that. People will see that. People will take notice to that. And by default, right, they will want to just continuously work on themselves, because people don't like getting left behind. That's just a reality. That fear of loss is always more than the desire for gain. If you guys are getting value from this, type of V in the chat. I see you guys are doing comments. Make sure you're sending it to all panelists and attendees. But as always, it is a pleasure to serve you guys. But yeah, so make sure that the personal development, and making sure also that you are not only investing in yourself, but maybe you want to invest in somebody you care about. It goes a very, very long way. Inviting somebody to a training, extending an invite. Again, going back to what we were talking about with our training coming up in about a week and a half now, it is important that we understand that people need certainty in this world. It is the number one basic human need. And leaders are those that are able to bring certainty to an environment where there isn't any. Now, when we're talking about another way to maximize our free time, it is passion. Like, what is your passion? Your passions indicate your calling. And when we think about your passion, and when you think about what is it, what is that passion for you? It's simply engaging in what it is that you love. And how do you do this? It's identifying your core passions, right? Your passion, yes, it indicates your calling. And true, I want to say true Zen, true bliss is when you can get paid for your passion, right? Get paid for your passion and your purpose. And the reality is that you have to identify what those core passions are. And how do you do that is just reflecting on what aspects of your work, what aspects of your day, maybe what aspects of your task that you're most passionate about, and try to spend more time working on those areas, aligning work with interests or business with interest. So where possible, align your business activities with your personal interests. And this is not only going to increase your motivation, but it's also going to reduce the feeling of work being a chore. So I say this, so one of the things that I love to do is just impact people's lives, right? So I'm on vacation and I'm doing presentations, but it doesn't feel like work because I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about. And at the same time, I'm filling my cup because I know I'm leaving somebody better than how I found them. And I'm also giving them access to an opportunity. And as a community builder, I know that as much as I love building community, for me to be able to build community, I need currency. And for currency, we need opportunity. And the opportunity that we have our hands on, see, as a business coach, as a speaker, I know that not everybody can coach. I know that not everybody can speak on TV or speak in a public setting or speak multiple languages, but I know people love to have fun. I know people love to travel. I know people love to experience more time in life with the people that they love. So it is simply you knowing that a lot of the times it's just you aligning your work with what interests you. And that is really when you have gotten to that point that it's just true bliss and it's just absolute love in what you're doing. Another way is to incorporate creativity. Get creative. Find ways to be creative into your business routine. So one of the things that I love to do when I'm back home is just, I love to go to different coffee shops, right? Love to go to different networking events. So I like to go to different coffee shops. Sometimes I'll go sit in a rooftop just so I can look at the city. And I am in such a great state, in such a great mood just because of the ambiance and the environment that I'm in, that me incorporating this creativity, it makes me just feel better, but it actually sometimes even makes my brainstorming better. It makes my business better. It makes me even meet people that I would have never met had I not been incorporating creativity into my workplace. Another way that I incorporate creativity is by networking. It's by going out and meeting people. It's by being intentional about, I don't need to meet all of the people, but I just need to meet the right people. I just need to be in the right rooms. My name just needs to be in the right conversations. And these are things that all allow us to not only, make sure that we are taking care of our passions, but more than anything, that we are having fun while doing what it is that we love. Because if we get so caught up in making a living that you forget to have a life, what is the point of doing it all? And when you think of ways of, making sure you are working on your passion, because yes, indeed, your passion indicates your calling. One of the ways that you do that is just by having passion projects, allocating time to work on side projects that maybe you're passionate about. This can often lead to new business ideas or improvements in your current business and your operations. And maybe one of your passion projects, you're like, you know what, I want to be able to help more people, or I want to be able to go serve my community more. And you just never know, whether it's feeding the homeless, whether it's, giving back, or even during the summer, if you want to go do something with your kids, whatever the case may be. This is not only going to allow you to be around different people. And yes, you're working on something that you're passionate about, but you just never know who you're going to connect with. You never know who you're going to connect with that is going to take you to the next level in not only your business, but the next level in your life. And a lot of the times, the reality is that the opportunity comes knocking because the preparation has happened and the intentionality is there. So it's like, if you want to get to that next level, if you want to meet that next person, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of that same routine that even though it may be serving you, maybe it may be serving you to a certain limit, and that's not necessarily the limit that you want. And nobody, like, we're not meant to just stay in one limit. And it's absolutely important that we're consistently working on growing in every aspect of our life. So if you're thinking of ways of, well, how can I implement these? And this all sounds great. And yes, I know we have to maximize our free time by resting and focusing on improvement in our passion. Well, one of the ways that you can implement these are SMART goals. Setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time sensitive goals for your rest, your improvement, and your passion projects. Also, making sure that you have accountability in that as well. It is so important that you have an accountability partner. Consider having a coach, consider having a mentor to keep you accountable, to help you reach your goals and stay on track. Another way that you can implement these is having time management tools, using tools like Microsoft Teams or Trello or different techniques. One of the things that we have that I utilize all the time is a Pomodoro technique. This is not only a time management tool for me, but it is also a performance hack because it allows you to maximize your performance for an allocated time. So you set a timer for 25 minutes and you work on a dedicated task, solely on that task for 25 minutes. Once that timer goes off, you take a 5-minute rest. And if you want to do it again, you go ahead and do it again. But that is a way that it not only allows me to manage my time, but also increase your productivity and make it the best that you can in the time that you have, right? Another way is regular reviews. Check in, right? Inspect what it is that you expect. Conduct weekly or monthly reviews to assess how well you are balancing your time and making adjustments as needed. And the reality is, by you integrating your rest, your improvement, and passion into your routine, business leaders, professionals, career professionals, you're maximizing your free time, you're reducing stress, and you're enhancing both your personal well-being and professional productivity. And the reality is that God won't multiply what you do not maximize. And on that note, breakfast has been served. As always, it is a pleasure, honor, and privilege to serve you guys. Blessings on blessings, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.